another example of selflessness in Auschwitz in World War II, the death camp where the Nazis were holding and executing through gas and other means the Jewish. There were 6 million Jews killed in all the camps by the Nazis, and 2 million Catholics, by the way, were executed. And there was a story of when the American soldiers went in at the end, 1945, and they went in to free the prisoners who were still alive, and they were so amazed at how emaciated they were, how thin they were, how malnourished they were. But they found one man who was more nourished than the others. He was still very thin and malnourished, but he seemed healthier than the others. And they wanted to investigate why that was. And as they investigated, they realized that the Nazis were giving them every day some soup, a hot broth of some kind, and a piece of bread. And the prisoners, many of them thought that they wanted the bread because it in their minds was more substantial a food. And they would go to him, to this one prisoner, and they would say, hey, could we trade you? You can have our broth and we'll take your bread. And he would always do that because he thought he was helping them by giving them the bread that they wanted, because it would fill them up more and they wanted it, and he would take the soup. Well, it turned out that the broth actually had more nutrients in it, more vitamins in it than the bread. So the ones who just kept eating the bread, their health deteriorated faster, and this one prisoner who seemed to be a little bit better, was actually being sustained by the broth. So he was trying to help them. He was trying to do a good deed by giving the bread to them when they asked for it. But as so often happens, when we do good for other people, we actually are doing some good for ourselves as well.